When you're lying in bed and can't fall asleep, why not watch a relaxing episode of snow camping? I guarantee you'll be out cold by the end of it. Alright, let me guess. Your left foot is probably resting on your right shoulder right now, and your phone battery's sitting around 70%. If I guessed right, give me a shout. If not, pretend I never said that. Alright, enough small talk. Let's get straight into tonight's bedtime story. Here we meet a new friend from our camping series, Yaya, a girl from the Kimchi channel. Today, she's driven into the snowy forest. Snow still clings to the branches above, and as a light breeze drifts through, flakes start gently falling like a dream. Before pitching the tent, she clears a bit of open ground. Luckily, she doesn't need much space. Just a neat square patch will do. Fans of Kimchi Channel's camping videos know this well. They really value a sense of spaciousness in their tents. A one-bedroom layout has basically become standard. And Yaya, of course, is no exception. To better enjoy the outdoor scenery, she's left wide, transparent windows on both sides. As for gear selection, her motto is simple. You might not need it now, but you should always have it. To embrace the cozy winter camping vibe, she's even brought along a wooden fireplace, so she can fully enjoy the warmth of real flames at night. By the time everything's set up, the sky has already turned dark. Once everything was set up, she finally realised how hungry she was. Thankfully, she'd already prepared plenty of cooking gear. In the biting chill of winter, it's impossible to resist the call of good food. Tonight, she's cooking the classic Korean dish, kimchi-style sausage. She starts by placing sticky rice sausages into the pan, slowly frying them over low heat until they turn golden brown. As she flips the sausages, her gaze drifts outside the tent. Suddenly, she lets out a soft gasp. She rushes to the entrance, lifts the curtain, and sees snowflakes gently drifting through the air. But unlike earlier in the day, the snowfall had grown heavier and faster. For someone used to dry climates, a sight like this was almost magical. She held her breath, reaching out as a flake landed softly on her palm. Then she returned to the fire, eager to keep cooking. As a true Korean, her love for kimchi-flavoured dishes runs deep. In the pot before her, bright red ingredients bubble away, filling the air with a mouth-watering aroma. After finishing dinner, the snow outside the tent kept falling without pause. Inside the tent, Yaya curled up tightly with her monkey companion. But as snow continued to pile up on the roof, the weight grew heavier and heavier. To stop the tent from collapsing, Yaya had to shake it every now and then, knocking off the snow that had built up on top. Fortunately, as time went on, the snowfall eased. The tent stood firm once more, no longer in danger of being buried. Girl and dog nestled by the fireplace, basking in the soft dancing warmth of the flames. So you've actually come across me at this hour. I thought I was about to fade into obscurity. Tonight I won't bother guessing where your left foot's resting. As usual, if you see this, drop a quick hello, or leave a comment on the right. Alright, enough rambling. Let's dive into tonight's bedtime story. Slowly approaching before us was Lena, who loves seeking fortune in the wild. At this moment, she was walking deep into the Freljord forest. It happened to be the first blizzard of the year's end, and coming from the south, Lena was utterly captivated. But as she stepped into the extreme cold, she urgently needed a proper shelter. The thick snow on the ground had already reached her ankles. As Lena ventured further, she spotted a stone cave ahead. As expected, this would be her refuge for the night. Since Lena had always loved outdoor adventures, this cave fit her interests perfectly. When she swept her torch across the cave floor, she realized it wasn't an ordinary cave. The walls inside bore signs of human excavation. On the front wall hung an old kerosene lamp, and there were even some misplaced butterfly specimens. But even though the cave showed no obvious dangers, Lena still felt a little uneasy inside. Yet thinking of the endless blizzard outside, she resolutely chose to settle in. Because the cave lacked enough oxygen to sustain long breathing, she had to place silver coins at the entrance for airflow. Once settled, she organised her heating equipment. Since Lena's backpack was fairly small, all she'd brought was a small fireplace. Luckily, the surrounding rocks could provide a certain degree of shielding. The next step was to quickly find enough fuel to make it safely through the freezing night. The forest was full of all sorts of twigs and branches. Once broken apart, they became a steady source of fuel. Lena then brought back the old kerosene lamp that had long been stored in the cave. Though time had corroded it beyond use, She fortunately carried a few candles with her. By placing them inside the lamp cover, it served as a container. As time passed, the sky gradually darkened. She lit the prepared twigs, watching the faint glow turn bright. The chill around her eased with the warmth. Then with her cup, she scooped up a spoonful of crystal clear snow. One advantage of camping in such extreme cold was the endless supply of water. She simply placed it on the fireplace to melt. After a quick filtering, she had fresh, natural drinking water. Once her body warmed up, she began her picnic for the day. Even in the midst of the stormy snow, her love for good food never faded. From the thick-cut steak she pulled out, it was clear, no matter how harsh the conditions, they couldn't stop a true foodie's heart. After finishing her meal, she turned her attention to sorting out tonight's lodging. The conditions outside were clearly unfit for staying overnight, so she had no choice but to settle in the shelter and find a place to rest. Fortunately, the inside had already been thoroughly cleared out by others, so with just a little tidying up, she could stay there for now. From her past experiences of seeking fortune outdoors, even when faced with run-down shabby houses, her mindset had always remained calm. But in this bunker, she couldn't help but show a look of strong distaste. Once everything was in order, she lay down early to rest. When you're lying in bed and can't fall asleep, why not watch a relaxing camping video? I promise you'll be out cold till morning once it's done. And just for fun, right now, your left foot's probably resting on your right shoulder. If I guessed it right, give me a sign. If I'm wrong, pretend I never asked. All right. Enough chit-chat. Let's jump straight into tonight's bedtime story. Here we've got Nana, a girl from Korea. She lives by the motto, good weather's wasted indoors. So today, fully geared up, she headed into a snowy white wonderland. Flakes drifted softly down from the sky. For Nana, this kind of weather was nothing new. When it comes to winter camping gear, her top pick is a one-bedroom tent. It might not be as tough as a fortress, but compared to complex designs, it goes up much quicker. Even so, she couldn't beat the snowfall. By the time it was set, the roof was already covered in a thick layer of snow. Wanting to embrace the youth spirit of resilience and grit, no matter how harsh the weather, she always left a few clear windows, so at night she could soak in the vibe and enjoy the magic of camping to the fullest. Last time it was a storm outside and a waterfall inside the tent. Now it's a blizzard outside and iced tea flying around inside. The difference is, snow won't soak your clothes, but it cuts even deeper with its chill. Those who often watch Nana's camping trips know, every time she packs it's like moving house. But today her gear compared to before was surprisingly simple, just the bare essentials for a picnic. At the same time, she even set up a cozy little nest for her dog. Of course, even with minimal gear, the vibe was still spot on. For a detail-oriented girl like her, ceremony and ritual really matter. With most of the prep work done, the tent space slowly turned into a cozy little home. After all the hard work, she could finally rest a bit, and at the same time start prepping afternoon tea. From the way she moved around busily, it was another ceremony in itself. When it comes to enjoying life, Nana sure knows how. Crunchy snacks paired with an icy wheat juice. All the tiredness from before just melted away. Outside, the snow was still falling softly, but compared to the earlier blizzard, it had eased a lot. With little else to do out here in the wild, she just lay back in the tent with her dog until the sun slowly dipped below the horizon. Only then did she start preparing dinner. As the saying goes, eat well in the morning, eat well at noon, and eat even better at night, especially out in the wild. To make the most of her first dinner, she kicked things off with a black coffee to wake up her taste buds. Being a true Korean girl, kimchi was of course a must. Even the soup base was tomato kimchi flavoured. Without that tangy kimchi kick, the whole meal would feel soulless. Finally, she poured herself a glass of cola, and so began tonight's supper journey.